All right, so today we're going to do section 34.5. Again, just one section. Have your ISN pages ready. Vocabulary at the top. Julius Caesar. He was a Roman general who ended the Roman Republic when he seized power and became dictator for life. At the bottom there, you can see Julius Caesar was stabbed 23 times and bled to death at the door of the Senate. Remember when we read about the Republic being rich guys originally who made laws for themselves? They're going to talk about the Republic collapsing. So 34.5, expansion during the final years of the Republic, 145 BCE to 44 BCE. By 145 BCE, Roman conquest had brought great wealth to the city of Rome, but they had also put the ideals of the Republic under great strain. By the end of Rome's third period of expansion, the Republic collapsed. The final years of the Republic were marked by still more wars. Many of Rome's allies resented having to pay Roman taxes and fight in Roman armies without enjoying the rights of citizenship. In 91 BCE, some rebelled. To end the revolt, Rome agreed to let all free Italians become Roman citizens. Rome also had to fight to put down slave revolts. As Romans conquered new territory, they brought hundreds of thousands of prisoners to Roman lands. They turned them into slaves who labored on farms and in the city. Although some slaves were respected, Romans often treated their slaves very harshly. A slave named Spartacus led a famous revolt in 73 BCE. After crushing his army and killing Spartacus in battle, the Romans put thousands of the surviving rebels to death on crosses. There's some famous movies, especially old ones, about Spartacus. It's pretty interesting. There was trouble in the city too. With so many slaves to do the work, thousands of farmers and laborers had no jobs. They crowded into Rome, becoming a mob that an ambitious leader could turn into an army. Rome's army was producing many such leaders. Generals used their armies to gain fame and power in far-off lands, and then to fight for influence in Rome. In one such civil war in the 80s BCE, 200,000 Romans were killed. 40 years later, another civil war broke out between two ambitious generals, Pompey and Julius Caesar. Pompey had expanded Roman rule in such eastern lands as Syria and the island of Cyprus. Caesar had conquered much of Gaul. And there's a map showing the expansion of the third expansion there. So by 49 BCE, Pompey was back in Rome, while Caesar commanded an army in the north of Italy across the Rubicon River. Both men wanted to control Rome, but Pompey had the support of the Roman Senate. Urged on by Pompey, the Senate forbade Caesar to enter Italy with his army. Caesar disobeyed. On January 11, 49 BCE, he crossed the Rubicon with his army. After 3 years of fighting, he defeated Pompey. The frightened Senate named Caesar dictator for life. With Caesar in control, and after nearly 500 years, the Republic was at an end. So by naming him dictator, that means Caesar had complete power. Dictator is the power of one by force. The Republic, where there used to be a Senate, where they would make laws, a group of people were in charge. That was no longer. So now we've moved into a dictatorship. As dictator, Julius Caesar introduced many reforms. He gave work to thousands of Romans by starting projects to make new roads and public buildings. To keep the poor happy, he staged gladiator contests they could watch for free. He also adopted a new calendar that is still used today. Caesar had a vision of Rome as a great empire. He started new colonies and granted citizenship to the people of cities in Gaul and Spain. But he did not live to see his vision come true. On March 15, 44 BCE, a group of enemies stabbed Caesar to death as he was entering the Senate. The men who killed Caesar thought they were saving the Republic, but they were wrong. Instead, real power would never return to the Senate, as an emperor eventually emerged to take Caesar's place. So when they killed him, the gentleman that killed him thought that by getting rid of him, they would go back to a republic where many people were in charge, but they were wrong. It actually just went to another dictator. So it was kind of a useless death. So look at your ISN pages. Put the dates at the top. When Julius Caesar became dictator of Rome, what reforms did he make? That means what did he do to improve Rome? And he made several. And then who might have had a negative view of Roman expansion during this time? For example, one would be Pompey. He was killed, kicked out of Rome, no longer existing, and there's others. So think about who else might not have liked things at that time. And that's the complete plan for today.